What's up? What's up? What's up? Happy Tuesday. Happy New Year's Eve. Happy Tuesday. How y'all doing? Appreciate y'all being here with me. Of course, you know this would normally be recorded at night, but I gotta have to attend an event tonight. But I want to make sure I still get here and get this show out. So welcome. Happy Tuesday. Welcome to On the Shoulders of Giants. We got a lot to talk about today. There is not a significant shift as of now. It's not significant as of now, but it's being made to seem like that there's a significant shift happening as far as the political landscape, as far as party affiliation when it comes to black people. Republicans are making it seem as if, or they're shaping the narrative as if a significant shift is happening for black people, specifically black men, specifically young black men. Republicans are going for the low-hanging fruit. Republicans are doing what they can to pick off people from the Democratic Party to join their party. There are a lot of black people who are disillusioned with the Democratic Party, and rightfully so. Those black people who are disillusioned with the Democratic Party have a great reason to be disillusioned. But as I've stated before, and I state again, and I continue to state, party hopping is not the answer. Going from one party to the next because you're not happy with the results that you're getting from this party or the lack of results that you're getting from this party, going from one party to the next is not the answer. We need to learn how to truly engage in politics to be able to get what we need, to get our needs met, to get what we want. And we need to transition from a state of begging to a state of demanding. Like we have enough in our voting block to get our demands met. And as of right now, the way we are playing the game, or the way we're being played via the game, it's in a losing way, because as black people in America, we're not getting what we need for our votes. I've never advocated for one party or the other. I've never advocated for either party. But I think it's funny that narratives and the propaganda is being pushed that the Republican Party is the new hub for black people. Black people, both parties have given us the asses to kiss, both parties. But we have a lot more smoke for the Democratic Party than we do for the Republican Party. For one, most black people vote Democrat. Most black people in America who vote, we know at least 80% of black people who vote in America, who are active voters, 80% of those people vote Democrat. So that's why we do have a lot of smoke for the Democrats, because we have, like for the past 60 years or more, we have been voting Democrat and not getting any real tangibles for our votes. But at the same time, during those same 60 years, the Republicans ain't did shit for us either. And I think it's bull. That's one thing I don't like about the Republican Party. The Republican Party act like they can capitalize off the Democrats' inactivity, and we just migrate on over to the Republican Party because they've done what for us? They've done nothing for us. The Republican Party can kiss our ass the same way the Democratic Party can. But I think part of the problem, and no matter of fact, I know part of the problem is how we choose to play the game. We keep getting played by the game instead of understanding the rules of the game and being able to play the game properly. You don't ask them, or you don't go and let them come in your community and campaign and stuff. Nah. Hey, this what we want. These are our demands. Meet our demands. And if you're not gonna meet our demands, then what we talking about? Why am I voting for you if you're not gonna meet my demands? What we doing? So, I mean, That's what we're getting into today. They're trying to make it seem like there's a significant wave happening right now. It's not now, but it's something that we do need to pay attention to, right? Because it could become significant over time as more and more Black people become disillusioned or even vocal about their disdain for the Democratic Party because of their inaction and us not getting anything for our votes from the Democratic Party. So you're going to have a lot more people, especially younger people, young impressionable people. That's one of the reasons why Charlie Kirk and a lot of these other Republicans are at college campuses catching a lot of people when they're young in their impressionable state, when they're in their I don't know how to think state. Because it's real easy to radicalize a young college student. A young college student who's lazy, intellectually lazy, who's not fully developed and will go off of emotions. Think about it. Those Republicans are always at these colleges debating students. And remember the Republicans who were trying to make their tour on the HBCUs, the ones who got ran out of I think it was Tennessee State, the fake Charlie Kirk boys who ran up in Tennessee State and tried to debate the crowd. That's frontline stuff. They're trying to convert as many Black people to the Republican Party as possible. I say, damn both parties. Black people need to get together as a block and make our demands and make them heard. And that's what we're getting into today. Welcome to On the Shoulders of Giants. This is Joseph Ward. And this Tuesday, like I say, normally this would be Tuesday night live, but I have an event that I'm going to. I promised this brother I would go speak at this event. So I will be speaking at this Kwanzaa event tonight. We're talking about the Kwanzaa principle of purpose. Nia is the principle, and Nia means purpose. So we're talking about our purpose as Black people here in America, and especially our purpose as Black people here in Tallahassee, Florida. So thank you all for being here, tuning in. You know we're gonna have fun. We get down over here. So please hit that like button, comment, subscribe, share. If you're not subscribed to this channel, if you're watching and you're not subscribed, you want to hit that subscribe button because we get it in. We gets it in. Please hit that subscribe button. Getting comments. I want to hear your comments. I want to hear your thoughts. So today we are covering, of course, it's been big in the news, and it kind of got the ball rolling that allowed me to put this show together. But Nicki Minaj has gone viral for her teaming up with Erica Kirk, the widow of Charlie Kirk, at the America Fest Turning Point USA Summit. And she got up there and said a whole bunch of nothing, but it is part of their plan and their plots to siphon as many Black people over to the Republican Party as possible. So we calling out their game before it get too big, right? So they're starting with Nicki Minaj. We're gonna start with the video of Nicki Minaj and Erica Kirk. It's not a long video, but I can tell you right now, she said a whole bunch of nothing, but we're gonna dissect it. Then there's a news segment by ABC News called Young Black and MAGA. And it's talking about more of the young Black people migrating over to MAGA. Why? Once again, we're gonna jump into the whys. And then there's a guy, unfortunately, this dude is in Jacksonville, Florida. He's not from Jacksonville, but he lives in Jacksonville, Florida. A guy named Reverend Jordan Wells. He calls himself the Black MAGA preacher. So we're gonna get into what he's talking about. And then there's the YouTube channel, I think is Garrison Hayes. The title of this video is I Spent the Week with Black Republicans, and he went around asking Black people why they are Republicans and why they're doing what they're doing, why they gravitate toward that party. So those are the videos that we're getting into. But first, like I told y'all I was gonna get my merch shop up and running. So I've got it. So I want to show y'all my merch shop. So this is it. So I got some hats. So I got my own The Shoulders of Giants hats available for order. I have shirts. This supposed to be like a canvas, some kind of shirt, jersey shirt. I don't know why they got that design, but it's a jersey shirt. Somebody wanted. Got the hoodies, regular shirts, heavy, what they call it, the heavy tee, tees for men's, unisex tees for women, everything. I got a mug. I gotta get this mug too. But this is the merch that I have available. See, I got my mug, I have my hats, and I have my apparel available. And all of that is, the links and stuff are below and connected to the video. So I got my merch shop up and running, been working on that for a minute in the background to get my merch shop up and running. So I got it up and running. So if you want to support the channel, get you some merch, it's all available, links below and links attached to the video. Want to give a shout out to all my channel subscribers, all my channel members. Shout out to everybody who's become a member of this channel. Shout out to Mr. Samuel Harris for becoming a new member of the channel. My brother, thank you, Mr. Samuel Harris. Welcome to the OTSOG family, my brother. I appreciate you. Where is? So let me get all my members. Once again, Mr. Samuel Harris, Logical, my man John, DSB, thank you. Trees Like Flowers, Chef CT, Cortez Renfro, Chisel Chipper, A Show About Me, Counter Racism Now, Music 19151, LaRonda Weatherspoon, CKT1249, Terrell, my man Terrell, Ron Riley, Patrick Irvin, Drippy, Bricks Official, and Professor Carlton Jones. I appreciate all of you for becoming and remaining channel members, and you can become a channel member too. The link is below to support this channel, and all the links to support this channel is below. But let's go ahead and get this thing started, man. Erica Kirk, Nicki Minaj, they are doing what they can to siphon as many black people over to the Republican Party. My thing is, I just don't think either party has our best interest. And until either party build a history of giving black people tangible outcomes, they ain't talking about nothing. They ain't talking about nothing. So May Goody says, I do have certain conservative views, but I could never consider myself Republican given the white nationalist atmosphere. But I do think we're better off with conservative lives, and I agree reaching out. So a fun fact, black people are conservative. Black people are not conservative in the way that we think about white Republicans, but black people are conservative. We are a conservative group of people. We do have conservative values. I have conservative values. I have more conservative values than I do liberal values. I do not agree with the blue-haired, with a lot of the blue-haired nose ring logic. I don't. Just like I don't agree with a lot of the backwood bubble talk logic, right? But we do have conservative values as black people. We are more of a conservative group of people. Black people are not that liberal in our behavior and our thinking and in our ideologies in the way we live our lives. We're not that liberal. We're liberal in our voting. We're liberal in that sense, but not necessarily how we live our lives. We think we are, but we're not. We're a lot more conservative than we like to admit. But that doesn't translate into us voting Republican, because our conservatism doesn't get funneled that way. So I'm with you, May. I'm with you. I appreciate your comment. So let's go ahead and let Nicki Minaj and Erica Kirk go ahead with their bull so we can get this thing going. Please hit that like button, comment, subscribe, and share, and let's do it.
This one is for the boys in the polos, entrepreneurs again in the mouth out.
Gotta mute that music. I'm not getting no copyright strikes for that music, so definitely gotta mute that music. But this is these two getting ready to sit down. This is Erica Kirk, not too long. Erica Kirk, remember, off the heels of Charlie Kirk being assassinated. So she just become a superstar now. And remember, Not too long ago, or before Charlie Kirk was assassinated, Charlie Kirk was speaking down horribly on Nicki Minaj, saying he does not respect her, anything about her. She's ghetto. She's stupid. All these things here that Charlie Kirk spoke against Nicki Minaj, and here his wife is with her. So it's all an act. All that stuff is an act. And Charlie Kirk was doing that to try to get more Republicans as well. He wasn't that smart, but here's his widow with Nicki Minaj.
Hi. Hello, how are you?
So those of you who know, Charlie was very good about having a surprise for every AmFest. And we are so blessed to have you. We are so grateful. I mean,
Thank you. I'm honored to be here. I am honored to be here. Thank you for having me.
love you guys. So we're just gonna dive right into this. You had some fun words for Governor Newsom. I have to read these tweets because they're amazing and they're.
My bad, I was on mute. So this is the emotionalism that they try to play into. You get this puppet who has these millions of followers, and then you talk about frivolous stuff. You know, her views on Gavin Newsom and how she's talking about them, all these things. It's nothing real. It's not getting down to any real policy, any real change, any real thing that will make some tangible outcomes for Black people in California. But it's the emotionalism part that they get into, because they know that those barbs of those people that would rock with her would follow her. But now, from what I'm seeing, this thing didn't necessarily play all the way out the way they wanted to. Of course, you know, there was going to be some backlash with Nicki Minaj aligning herself with Trump, with MAGA and all that stuff. But, you know, you have some people who like it, but there are a lot of people who are speaking back against this. But it's just the emotionalism lane that they're trying to go down. So pay attention to that.
They're so funny. Okay, first one, we'll do this one. Unless you want to read it in your own voice. I think it'd be really great. Okay.
Oh, Gabby Poo, it only gets worse from here for you, buddy. It's the end of the road for you, my love. Get on the nearest jet ski and let that beautiful hair blow in the wind. It'll make you happier than this race that you will not win. Enjoy life. Peace.
Okay. One more.
Why not? Imagine being the guy running on wanting to see trans kids. Haha, not even a trans adult would run on that. Normal adults wake up and think they want to see healthy, safe, happy kids. Not Gav. The Gav.
And I one time for Reginald Israel, yeah, I'm with you. Like, forget both parties. Remember now with Nicki Minaj, though. Remember now, the bulk of her following, what they call the barbs. Remember, the bulk of a lot of her barbs is the LGBTQ community. A lot of her barbs are in the trans community. So, you know, Nicki Minaj know how to play the game. Remember, a lot of people say Nicki Minaj is selling out. Now, Nicki Minaj sold out when she named herself Nicki Minaj. This is the woman who came out and bit Lil' Kim style and lied about it in our face like we didn't see what we know. Like we don't know what we know. Nicki, she's been a sellout from the beginning. There's been nothing authentic about her. She's always been willing and ready to go to whoever gave her the biggest bag. And that's what this is about. This is about another dumbass rapper pairing up with Republicans or pairing up with any politicians who will put money in their pocket, and she's another dancing monkey. She's another trick pony. Just like the same way The Democrats marched Megan Thee Stallion out there twerking and stuff. The Republicans just doing it a lot more classy way. They just know how to put their whores out in a more classy way. The Democrats being liberals, the liberals gonna let their whores just be full of whoredom out there, but the Democrats the Republicans gonna put their whores out in a little more sensible way. It's the same thing because they're going after the same demographic of people. So I'm just saying, but it's the game. It's the game. It's a game. That's why I say athletes, rappers, celebrities, entertainers, we should not be listening to the bulk of them. If you haven't proven yourself to the community with tangible outcomes, we shouldn't be listening to them. And I'm not talking about giving away turkeys on Christmas or giving away gifts and stuff or doing toy drives and shoot drives. I'm talking about consistent work in the community that's actually helping to get real outcomes within the people. I want to see reading scores improve. I want to see test scores improve. I want to see math scores improve. I want to see real tangible things that we can have in our community on a regular basis. Forget the pop-ups. I'm talking about real stuff, but let me stop talking.
Gav Knots. Gav not in, Gav out. Send in the next guy. I'm bored.
Shut up, girl. Saying a whole bunch of
So
nothing.
I'm just gonna let you riff. Like, I want you to say whatever you want to say to Mr. Newsom.
Nothing.
Dear Newscum, we don't have a problem cleaning up the scum if we have to. Please tread lightly. That's what I would say to Gavy Poo.
I mean, Gavin Newsom is a lame ass, but who the hell is we? Do she not realize she's a pet?
So with regard to the current administration, what has been maybe the biggest surprise for you, or something that you just really has been put on your heart that you've learned about our president and our vice president?
I would love to know this.
Well, I have the utmost respect and admiration for our president. He has,
I hear you,
don't know
Lon
if he
Supreme.
even
I
knows
hear you,
this,
Lon
but he's
Supreme.
given so many people hope that there's a chance to beat the bad guys and to win and to do it with your head held high and your integrity intact. He's from Queens, New York, like me. So, but what it's shown me personally is sometimes, you know, even in the worst feeling times in your life, you think that you're never going to come back from it, but you do. And our president shows that. He's been through every single thing a person could be through publicly, having to constantly be lied on. It's not really that funny until you are in that person's shoes that's being lied on. You'll never understand what it feels like. That person is a human being. They have a family who has to read those lies. And that's not, and it's just not fair.
That's what you learned?
This administration
That's what you learned?
is full of people with heart and soul. And they make me proud of them.
Give an example. Give an
Our
example.
vice president,
Give an example.
he makes me, well, I love both of them.
Because remember, the question was, what have you learned from the president? And so far, she said that she learned resiliency from the president. So you didn't learn that from Obama? You didn't learn that from other people? You work in the rap industry, so you've never learned resiliency before. Like, there's nothing in your life that you've personally learned resiliency about. That's the most you've learned from Trump presidency is resiliency. See, this is what happened when you send airheads up there to talk and try to represent people. Do not attach yourself to these rappers. And remember, Nicki Minaj do be having tether behavior as well. I'm not the one who started diaspora stuff, but she do be having tether behavior. I'm just saying. But she's a babbling idiot who's sitting down with another babbling idiot, and this is a conversation about nothing, but it's all feelings based and it's emotion based to get the other babbling idiots who don't think that follow her to migrate on over to the Republican Party, because they're never going to tell us what they're going to do for us. They're just going to say Democrat bad, come be Republican. And then, hey, look, we got a rap over here, a nasally toned rap over here who can't give us a straight answer about anything, but all she know is she can talk in circles. So,
but they're both powerful men, smart, strong, all of that, but both of them have a very uncanny ability to be someone that you relate to. I can relate to them. When I hear them speak, I know that they're one of us. Like, I know that they're not. Don't you guys agree?
Tell us how.
They haven't lost touch of the world. You know, they're still connected to the world and what's happening in the world, with the younger people and older people, with the richer people and not so rich people. They have the ability to still connect and be real. And
you're not even connected with the real world, so how are they connected? You just saying stuff. But remember, these are the people that our children grew up following and grew up listening to. There's a whole generation of young girls that Nicki Minaj raised. She can't think, so you know they can't think.
Make us feel proud to be American.
Can my dad go from XL to M with walking by Halloween?
All right.
So why now have you been involved with speaking about politics? What was kind of the turning point for you? Yeah.
What was the turning point? Well, I just got tired of being.
But this is what happened when your music career is on a decline, because she ain't that good. Nicki Minaj is a very talented person. She's trained in her art. She's a talented person. She just don't make good music, and you can't make horror music for the rest of your life. Like, as you get older, you can't continue to make horror music. So you got to do something different. So since the music ain't working out, selling out is gonna be what they do. So art, that's what she on now, selling out for the Republican Party. Remember, if the Democrats would have came at her with the right bag, she would have been over there. And we ain't crazy.
Pushed around. Sometimes you just get tired of it, and then you realize, wait a minute, I have something inside of me that's stronger than what's out there.
Who's been pushing her around? Anybody been pushing her around, not in her tax bracket.
When you've had enough, you realize, wait a minute, why do I even care about these people and what they think? Who are they? They don't even know who they are. So I'm not going to back down anymore. I'm not going to back down ever again.
From what?
Can the students in the room raise your hand? Wow.
See what and remember
this question.
Remember what I said earlier. The Republican strategy for the longest has been to target the college students, to target the incoming freshmen, target the ones who are very, very, very impressionable, and put these people in front of these college students to try to change, to get them to change their mind, to change their mentality, and get on the board with the Republicans and try to get them before the Democrats get them. Because the Democrats been doing it. The Democrats been targeting college students. So the Republicans are targeting the young people now, especially young Black people. Pay attention.
Is for you guys. So you guys are very courageous and bold on your campus. Nikki, I know our students feel this way, but why do you think speaking your mind has become so controversial?
Because people no longer are using their minds, their brains.
Perfect example is y'all two. Perfect example.
So
of
right
people not using their
now,
brains
just
is y'all two.
imagine we're not allowed to have a different opinion anymore. We're not allowed to think out loud anymore. We're not this is not what the world used to feel like. And especially for the young people, I don't want them growing up in a world where they feel like that.
Now, she has a point, but she's hypocritical. Yes, the far left stuff has gone too far. The far left stuff has gone too far, but she has been able to take advantage of a platform that she has leveraging some of the power that the LGBTQ community has, and she can say anything she wants. Nicki Minaj is not getting punished for saying the outlandish and over-the-top things that she say about any and everybody, because she has some of the covering and protection of the LGBTQ community, and she knows that. So she's telling the truth and being disingenuous at the same time, because she knows that she can say anything she wants to, and she has a history of saying anything she wants to anybody and having no consequences, or anybody trying to shut down her speech as an individual, that she has been taking full advantage of. Now, for the rest of us who don't live in the world, in the bubble that she lives in, yes, we are, guess what? We are even victims of your barbs. We're victims of your barbs. Yes, Nicki Minaj, your barbs, we are victims of. The regular people are victims of your brigade. So tell the whole truth now. Tell the whole truth.
I mean, they deserve for their voices to be heard. They have valid feelings and they're thinking about things, and it deserves attention. You know, we should listen to what they're saying.
Oh, they've been doing that.
And if you're growing up in a world that tells you it's taboo to say something that the masses don't agree with, that's not okay. And we're not gonna have it. And I love this. You know, it's giving the younger people confidence that they will need later on in life. You guys will need it, and you will have it. So I'm rooting for you.
Amen. Amen.
He did not answer the question.
I haven't been to the grocery store in over a year, but I'm eating healthier than ever. Here's how I did it. Meal plans to...
Again, Charlie would always say, it really does not take skill to be courageous. It takes a choice. It takes a decision. And I want to say again, thank you for coming and being courageous and being able to share your heart with us. And the reason why that also holds true sentiment-wise is because I know that you are getting a lot of backlash from your own industry. What is your reaction to that?
I didn't notice.
She lying.
Amen. I feel the same way.
She lying.
When people are like, what do you think about them? I'm like, I don't think about them.
Bingo. We don't even think about them.
We don't have time to. We're too busy building, right?
We're the cool kids.
Think about her.
Okay.
The other people, they're the ones who are still just disgruntled, but really they're just disgruntled with themselves.
She's lying.
They are angry with themselves, you guys. So you can't
answer every question she asks you. Answer with general statements that make people feel good about being in whatever situation they're in life. Just say general statements. Don't make real points or have real information. Just make general statements and stuff, and then have something slick to say every now and then, but just say general stuff. Don't answer any real questions. Remember, these people are not intellectuals. Nicki Minaj is not an intellectual. Nicki Minaj is a rapper who allegedly had to, had to come up through the casting couch like all the rest of them rappers, allegedly. It's nothing intellectual about her. If you are listening like I'm listening, She ain't saying nothing. And Erica Kirk ain't saying nothing, and Nicki Minaj ain't saying nothing. But remember, they don't have to say nothing to a brain dead society. That's why they've been dumbing people down. If you dumb down, because the trick is they'll tell you to think for yourself, but they're telling you what to think at the same time. So you don't have to be smart to talk to a dumbed down society.
Can't wake up and think about somebody who is determined to just stay mad. I literally tell them, stay mad.
Amen.
Stay mad. Because we're going to stay joyful,
Yep.
and peaceful and iconic and smart.
Yes.
And we're going to stay thinkers. In a world that doesn't want us to think, we will think. By ourselves, on our own, we will continue to think.
What I just said. What I just said. What I just said. What did I just say? I just told y'all that. I just told you what they're gonna say. You said it. I just told y'all they're gonna tell you to think for yourself, knowing you ain't. And she followed me up and said, I haven't watched it this far in. I just know the playbook. Right on cue. I just know the playbook.
This is something I know that's really important to you and on your heart. And I personally want to know what inspired you to speak out for the Christians that are being slaughtered in Nigeria.
She got paid.
Well, and that brings me back to our great president and this administration and our great country. That we take for granted that there right now in this world are people who cannot worship God as they please, where they please.
That's a lie.
We take it for granted because we have it. We can't even imagine not having that right. But every time we pray and fellowship, we have to remember the people that are right now in this world hiding to pray and fellowship.
You don't do it.
And we have to pray for them. And first of all, Nigeria is a place I've always loved.
Why?
Someone very dear to me, my pastor, is Nigerian.
Okay.
I have lots of Nigerian barbs.
Okay.
And so hearing that people are being kidnapped, and while they're in church, people are being kidnapped, people are
being kidnapped and fucked up out here in America, and you don't care. It's stuff happening to black women right here in America that you don't care about. Stop lying. You've been paid. Just say, I've been paid and allegedly been sent to the casting couch. And that's why she say what she said, and that's why she's on the platform. We ain't crazy. All those celebrities and all those sellouts who go do the stuff for the Democratic Party, we know they've been paid and allegedly casting couch. Same thing with the Republicans. They've been paid and allegedly casting couch. Come on, man. You're a paid actor. You're a paid actor.
Being killed, brutalized, all because of their religion. And that should spark outrage in the great America. And that's what it did. And again, we're not backing down anymore. We are not going to be silenced by the bullies anymore, okay? Know that. Hear that. Receive that, bullies. We won't be silenced ever again. We will speak up for Christians wherever they are in this world. Amen.
Amen. I don't know if you can.
All right, that's enough of that idiot. That's enough of them. But I want to set the tone, get the tone set for what we're getting into today. Republicans, once again, they think they slick, right? They think they slick. Everybody's playing off the emotions of black people in America. Everybody is. Everybody's playing off of our emotions. Everybody understands that black people are in a vulnerable and a desperate state here in America. and they're trying to get in where they can fit in. That's why we have been so susceptible to so many scams over these times. Like, think about how many scams have been ran on Black America at one time. That you have some people going from one scam to the next, to the next, to the next, getting scammed by all these people. So once again, my pushback against the my pushback against the Republican Party is not advocacy for the Democratic Party. And my pushback against the Democratic Party is not advocacy for the Republican Party. Black people, we need to tell both parties to kiss our ass. We need to come together as a block, go to every party and say, this is what we want. And if you can't give us what we want, you're not going to get our votes. So you need to get on the good foot. I want this, 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 and this. We're not doing the traditional campaign. We ain't doing none of that no more. We ain't coming to you for nothing. You ain't, this what we want. And if you're not coming to talk about how you're going to make happen what we want, we ain't talk about nothing. You're not getting these votes because it is what it is. We play the game so wrong. We're at the chessboard playing Uno with our cards backwards. Who does that? Who does that sensibly and wins? Nobody. And then you got so many people who want us to operate under individualistic mindset. Save yourself. Fool, don't you? You want to operate as an individual within a culture group that has no power and then complain about the results that you get? Come on, man. So I found some notes and some a little bit of data about voting trends that have been slightly changing. So of course, 83% of Black voters are still voting Democrat, but 2024 election did see a rise of voters voting Republican, going from 8% to 15%. And that was from 2020 to 2024, from 8% to 15%. So according to Gallup.com, surveys show that overall Democratic identification among all Black, Hispanic, and young voters has weakened compared to past decades, narrowing the gap between the major parties. And once again, the Republicans are targeting these specific groups. Party coalition changes across the electorate. Pew Research data indicates that both parties' coalitions are shifting. Democrats have historically led a strong advantage among Black voters, but that edge has lessened in recent years. And remember, today is December 30th, 2025. Let's pay attention. Commentary and analysis suggests younger African Americans may be more open to alternatives outside the traditional Democratic base due to dissatisfaction with party establishment politics. And those are the people that are on the fence. And those fence riders are the ones that are getting targeted. So I am a young person who has never been I've never been committed to the Democratic Party. I've always thought about what I wanted, what we need, and looked at who could give it to us and made my votes based off of who I thought was the best person to do it. Hell, I voted for Professor Carl Tone Jones for president for the last 2 elections. You know what I'm saying? But I think Black people, once again, the way we engage in civics is elementary. And it's very elementary. And to be fair, it's not just Black people. Most Americans engage in politics on an elementary level, but because we're talking about us, I'm focusing on us. We engage in politics on an elementary level. So what I mean by that is we vote by popularity. We vote by who makes us feel good. If I don't know you and you don't make me feel good, I ain't voting for you, no matter what your policy is. No matter how good your policy is or how well your policy might benefit me, I'm not gonna vote for you because I don't know you and you don't make me feel good. And don't make that person be Black. Because what we've learned about the Democratic Party is the Democratic Party will even denigrate and take a boo-boo on Black people who don't support its ideas. And so those are things we have to look at. We've seen the Democratic Party support a woman who said she was Black and then turn its back on somebody who is Black. Like we've seen plenty Just know, authentic black people get boo-booed on by the Democratic Party all the time, right? But at the same time, the Republican Party on the other side not doing a damn thing for us either. Remember, this bird got 2 wings now. This bird has 2 wings. The gentleman 0828. I hear you. So this next video is about young, black, and MAGA. Because remember, they're going for our young folk. They're going for the younger ones. So let's hear what the young folk have to say why they are choosing MAGA. Please, please, please hit that like button.
And we've seen more young people turning toward the MAGA movement, believing it will give them the future they want in America. A growing part of this turn toward President Trump's agenda, black voters. This change may be going under the radar, but the movement, it is definitely not underground. And in tonight's Prime Focus, ABC's Avery Harper takes us inside the world of people who identify as young, black, and MAGA.
Hi, I'm a Karen.
It's nighttime in the DC party scene. But this isn't just any costume party. It's packed with a political message.
I don't talk to the media.
What is your Halloween costume?
I'm Hakeem Jeffries.
This crowd is partying the MAGA way. The Make America Great Again movement, despised by some across the country, loved by those in this room.
This is just a great time for young conservatives to come together, meet each other, and make America party again.
CJ Pearson at the center of it all.
Yeah, I remember him.
Part-time party host and full-time MAGA influencer.
Yeah, I remember him. He'd been a little dumbass for a long time. I remember him when he was a little boy. He was a little dumbass little boy. Now he's an older little dumbass. I remember him.
Electoral college, and he lost the popular vote because Democrats are inseparable. Donald Trump isn't just making DC safe again, he's making it healthy again, because I can finally go on my Hot Boy walks again. Yo, I'm gonna have to pop off for a little bit. The tribalism in the black community.
Get off your knees,
if you
boy.
live in a Florida zip code and have 0 DUIs in the last 5 years,
Needs to end.
He's one of the rising stars of MAGA.
Rock, what are you here for?
We showing love, baby. We showing love.
His presence so undeniable, even rap royalty Rick Ross comes through to perform.
I think these parties have given a little bit of a confidence boost to a lot of young conservatives who for a long time thought there weren't many people out there like them.
But Pearson is also using his presence to carve a lane for more young black conservatives in the grand old party.
What about the MAGA movement attracts you and makes you want to bring other black people into the fold?
It's a movement that is putting America first, and that means every American of every shade, of every color.
And it's not just Pearson. In recent years, a number of black celebrities growing more vocal too in their support of President Trump, from rapper Kodak Black to Amber Rose.
Elect Donald Trump president of the United States.
These voices helped Trump make significant gains among black voters in the 2024 presidential election, nearly doubling his support among
Nobody who's intelligent,
and energizing young black men in particular. Black Americans, though, still overwhelmingly vote Democrat.
I caution the party to don't just assume that support that has been there for Donald Trump will translate for the party.
Almost a year into office and exactly 1 year from midterm elections, where does that support stand? A recent ABC News Washington Post Ipsos poll showing 84% of black Americans disapprove of Trump.
When it comes to black voters, I haven't heard enough from the party on the midterm message. We have the White House, we have the Senate, and we have the House. What are our deliverables at this point?
Well, I don't have to wear a MAGA hat because I'm a walking MAGA hat.
But
the 23-year-old,
like the brother's saying, what's been delivered, what's happening, what are the tangible outcomes? Because this buddy on the screen is once again a dumbass. What are the outcomes? It's one thing to just be disgruntled with the Democratic Party. Bitch, get in line. Get in line with that weak ass edge up he got. Get in line. We all disgruntled with the Democratic Party. But I'm not finna fall on my knees for the Republicans like he did. He been on his knees since he was a little boy. That's not the answer. The answer isn't just to go hobnob with the other party just because and bring out Rick Ross. I don't give a damn about no Rick Ross. I don't give a damn about no Kanye West. I don't give a damn about no Amber Rose. And I definitely don't give a damn about no Nicki Minaj. But that's how ignorant they think we are. That's how ignorant they know we are. You know that when you program people. Of course, it's not all of us, but it's enough of us. It's enough of us who've been programmed into the ignorance and follow along. That's why they can bring, both Democrats and Republicans bring out these dumbass celebrities to make people feel good about being dumbasses. And it works. Come on, man. Said that's the guy play. I went back and forth with Jane Elliott. What you mean by that? Art, what you mean by that? Said next step is Erica on the cover. Maybe. And you say bring you up. So I got a policy. If you want to come up on this show, we got to talk first. You got to email me and we got to talk first. So that's my policy. But let me get back to it. Y'all please hit that like button.
Pearson first went viral at just 13 with this YouTube video.
Here's the truth of the matter.
Attacking then President Obama.
President Obama, you don't love America.
How did you turn that viral fame as a kid into a cultural capital and political influence in this current Republican Party?
For me, I've always believed that politics is downstream from culture. If we win the culture war, that's how we change the hearts and minds of America's young people. We've been able to kind of make conservatism cool again.
His conservative content netting him over 1 million followers across social media and capturing the attention of the president himself. Pearson unapologetic in his pro-Trump rhetoric.
So to all the liberals commenting on my videos, you're black. How can you defend what they're doing to illegal aliens in America? Maybe because I'm not an illegal alien in America. I was born in Georgia.
What do you say to those who say you're trolling or race baiting?
Well, I think that they probably don't interact much with authenticity. So when they see authenticity in action, it's something that's unfamiliar to them. And so for me, I'm America first, and that's my North Star. And illegal immigrants, I have nothing in common with them. Transgender folks have nothing in common with them.
So once again, what's his background? What's his qualifications? What's his credentials other than being a slurper? What's his? Yeah, that lady is. Dark skin. I ain't hitting the fees of life. I ain't gonna lie to you. I would think about that too. But what's his qualification? Why should anybody listen to him other than he started off as a little sellout little boy, and he went viral with the conservatives because he was talking about Obama. But he's been on his knees since he was a little boy. Like, why should anybody listen to him other than him being willing to sell out? I would say the same thing about him if he was doing that for the Democratic Party. What makes him listen worthy? What has he done? What tangibles have been delivered by this dude? What is better? He said getting the culture war. How is the culture better? How is the culture better? All you want to do is shift the culture to voting Republican. For what? For what? So we can be right back here years later, mad at the Republican Party for doing nothing and then switching back to Democrat. Where are the tangible outcomes, boy? And see, he got looking at his edge up, looking at his lineup. That's how you know he was finna say some bullshit. But hidden fees of life, stop distracting me. You know she is fine. Stop distracting me. Say white fascism is all MAGA is offering. Exactly. As if politics against Mexicans and Muslims isn't eventually coming. Look, they ain't doing nothing for us. That's all they're offering. That's all they're offering is just talk. My man Nemesis in the building. What's going up? Just woke up and you hit me with an assembly. Hey, I forgot he was in this video. But welcome to waking up, my brother. Says it's confusion on the battlefield. He caters to the crowd of people. They need hands to move in a certain. There you go. And remember, same thing with Nicki. And pay attention to what they're saying and how they're saying it. Same thing with Nicki Minaj. This dude is saying nothing. He's saying nothing. It's a whole word salad of nothing. Where are the tangibles? If you told me right now, if I bet you if I asked him right now, give me 5 tangibles that the Republican Party have done specifically for Black Americans. Give me 5 tangibles right now. He couldn't give it to us. So he can go to hell. You're right. He is pandering. Get off your knees, boy. Be a man at some point in your life and stop living on your knees for these white folks. And remember, these white folks have already said that because they're working on building their all-white America. And they said when they build their all-white America, no Black folk are allowed. They keep telling them that. When these white folk, if they ever get to the point, the white folk want to build their all-white America and Black folk are not allowed, especially his ass. Not allowed. Says it's a modern minstrel show. Yep. We are not his audience. We're not. But they're trying to make our young folk their audience. And that's the problem. They're going after our young folk. They're going after the impressionable young college folk to make them their audience. So they are saying a lot, actually. They are saying their alignment is self-interest, tells you all you need to know. You can build with or go. No, you're right. I agree with that. It's all, but in the grand scheme of things, they're saying nothing for us, but it is all for them. Yes, you're right. You are right, because they're saying we doing what we doing for us, and we gonna send our puppet pets out to let y'all know, because he can't tell you one thing that they're gonna do for us. So there's some socially minded Black conservatives, but they never get media attention, right? Because they know how to put the right ones out. Because there are people in both parties who have some sense, but they're going to be silenced. But let's listen to the rest.
I think everyone should be treated with decency because of just how I was raised. But outside of that, that's kind of where the similarities are.
They are literally being led astray.
His newest venture, launching the political podcast Family Matters.
It's good to see you all again. We have a jam-packed show ahead today,
where he and his guests speak their minds.
There's a common misconception that conservatives are uppity and bougie and we don't know Black people. Baby, I'm
I remember her.
What they're doing for young conservatives and just young people in general is really invaluable.
And remember, look at the people that they are putting in these spaces for the Republican Party. It's a whole bunch of brain dead people who will take a check and do anything and live on their knees, right? It's like this lady from what they say, the Housewives or something like that. It's never people who are actually intellectuals or people who have real credentials in anything. It's celebritantes and stuff like that.
It's about not voting identity politics and really critically thinking about what matters to you.
Anna Marie Wiley first broke through on reality TV as a castmate on The Real Housewives of Beverly Hills.
I came up with this idea to have the ladies over at my house for Mother's Day, diamonds and champagne brunch.
But lately, she's been an outspoken supporter of President Trump.
Right.
From being invited to the White House to appearing on Fox News.
Want to actually stick to your health goals this new year?
They know the right numbers to get.
Will help keep you on track all year long. I've never been.
I voted for Joe Biden in 2020, and it wasn't until this election cycle that everything changed for me.
Wiley says her beliefs that transgender athletes shouldn't play in women's sports is a part of why she chose to vote for President Trump. That choice, she believes, cost her friendships and an invite back on the Bravo show.
I was given such a bad edit on that show and shown in such a negative light. So all of a sudden, I'm transphobic, I'm a bigot, I'm this mean person.
In a statement to ABC News, a Bravo spokesperson writes, there is absolutely no truth to those claims. But Wiley still wouldn't label herself as a full-blown conservative.
I'm really more moderate because there are many things Republicans believe that I don't share the same values with. I'm actually pro-choice. I look at things on an individual basis.
And Black conservatism isn't a monolith. One of the major boiling points, recent controversies around racist comments within pockets of the GOP.
How do you reconcile your support for the Republican Party with some of the ways that race can be discussed in corners of the party?
Yeah, well, I think a few voices don't represent the totality of the Republican Party. The only leader of this party is President Trump. President Trump, despite being called a racist, a bigot, a white supremacist, almost ad nauseum by a liberal media that despises him, was able to have the best performance among minority voters of any Republican nominee in half a century. And so I think it goes to show that Black people are a lot smarter than a lot of those on the left give them credit for.
I think the inroads that Donald Trump made with minorities, particularly Black men and Hispanic men, frankly, it comes from a different perspective. I think it's more a failure of the Democratic Party to explain why they are the champions of people of color.
Political commentator Tara Sapp.
But the problem with that, what she just said, the problem with that, which party has actually showed anything to be the quote unquote, like she said, the champion of the people of color? Because as of right now, the Republicans are just saying, Democrats bad, come to us. So why? Why should Black people be Republican outside of, because they not Democrat? Why? Because it's the same, both parties are using the same tactics. Democrats are saying, be Democrat because the Republicans are racist. And the Republicans are saying, be Republican because the Democrats ain't gonna do nothing for you. But neither one of y'all are doing nothing for us, and both of y'all are racist. We're not stupid. We're not stupid. But it's too many of us. Like, we not us on this channel. We not stupid. hey, us on the channel. Hey, well, yeah, you know. Joe Biden pissed me off with that. He had that finger all up in the camera like that. He pissed me off with that. Yeah. He said, somebody said Trump is Jewish. Hitting the light said Trump is Jewish. I don't care about none of that. I don't care about, and I'm not saying that against what you're saying, but I'm just saying, like, for us as Black people, I don't care who's Jewish. All of them are against us. None of them are on the same team as us. And we keep falling for the okie doke. We keep falling for the okie doke, no matter who it is, no matter what group it is. None of them folks in the Republican Party give a damn about us, and none of them folks in the Democratic Party give a damn about us. They just want us for our votes. How do we not? Ain't we tired? Aren't Black folk tired of being whores? Ain't you tired of being pimped out by the parties? All we doing is coming back with wet holes, used up and bruised up, with nothing to show for it. That's crazy. They need others like Black and Hispanics to pick a side, because the great divide, hey man. But we keep falling for the okie doke.
Meyer is a lifelong Republican who became an independent after the 2020 election.
People of color who are willing to align themselves with this incredibly dangerous and self-destructive nationalist populist worldview. I find it very difficult to digest.
What do you say to Black conservatives who have left the Republican Party because they view President Trump and his policies as detrimental to the Black community?
Good thing we've replaced them. We've replaced them with new blood in our party that have come over and said that President Trump is exactly what we need for this moment.
For Pearson, the future is young and bright for Black conservatives.
Young people are the future. I believe that the cultural winds that we're putting on the board are moving the dial. We've got to harness that, because this energy is not always going to be here.
I mean, for real, like nothing, like what did we learn? Like, what did we learn? Dang it. All right. Let me stop this. What did we learn? I hit all the wrong buttons on that. What did we learn from that? Like, what did we learn? What would be the reason, like, to vote, to change my vote, or to vote either party, or to vote Republican specifically? What would be that reason? You know what I'm saying? Looking at that young man said a whole bunch of nothing, and I going back to what Nemesis is saying. These white folk talking about their own self-interest, and somebody like the young light-skinned dude, he don't get it. He don't get it. What I'm noticing though is for black people specifically, for us black people in America, when they have these political events on either side, they all turn into parties. Everything is about bringing in the celebrity, have fun, don't talk about any real thing, don't get no real progress, don't get no real outcomes. Just make people feel good. Have their favorite rapper out there rapping, have stuff happening, have them dancing, have somebody shaking booty. The Democrats gonna bring strippers out. The Republicans gonna have strippers behind the doors. Democrats gonna have cocaine out in the public. The Republicans gonna have cocaine behind the doors. It's like they both running the same game. One of them just running in your face, and one of them running behind closed doors. You right. I am going to mess your name up, so excuse me. I'm gonna try to show Shoshana Kira. Did I say it right? Shoshana Kira. We need to advocate for ourselves and our interests. Yep. We got to be better. We have to fight for us once again. Like we don't owe anybody votes. We vote like we owe people votes. We vote like we owe people votes, right? Like they be playing in our faces. They play straight up in our face. Hey, we gonna send celebrities, and we ain't gonna send celebrities that got sense. We're gonna send the dumbest and the stankiest celebrities we can find, send them out there to represent y'all. So remember, because with black people, they trying this. With the Republicans, Amber Rose and Nicki Minaj, Kanye West, idiots, 3 idiots. And the Democrats ain't no better. We're gonna send Beyonce, we're gonna send Megan Thee Stallion, we're gonna send Glorilla. Idiots. Who cares? How's that making me want to give you my vote? Now we don't owe our ancestors our vote. We owe our ancestors sensible stuff. Our ancestors didn't die for us just to vote just all willy-nilly. That's not, let's make it clear. Our ancestors did not die for us to just vote willy-nilly or just vote just because. That is not, our ancestors did not get beat down just for that. Our ancestors died for us to make sensible votes. Our ancestors died for us to be able to have the right to vote and to vote sensible, to get sensible outcomes for us, not to just vote just to vote. That don't make sense. If you vote just to vote, you part of the problem. If you're not voting to get a real tangible outcome, you part of the problem. And we have to change the game and change the system. Said, envy thou not the oppressor, and choose none of its ways. I hear you know, if you start your own party while I always talking the white man's left, while always taking the left, you better not try to inherit mega. Mega is about to be, I don't know what that means. Okay. Says, if our votes were an important, I'm not saying our votes aren't important. What I'm saying is you don't vote for a party just to vote for the party. What is the party doing for you, for your vote specifically? If the party isn't doing anything for your vote, why would you vote for somebody who's not doing anything for your vote, who's not giving you anything for your vote? Does that make sense? Answer the question. Answer this question. Does it make sense for you to give somebody your vote who you know is not going to give you a tangible outcome? Put yes or no in the comments. Come on, man. Let's not come on this channel and be crazy. You're going to be forced to critically think over here. Let's get right. We are grown. We are adults over here, okay? If you're not going to give me anything tangible for my vote, you're not getting our vote. Says yes that the other is going to take away. Hey, well, guess what? You're going to be by yourself, because the rest of us, we're not voting like that. We're not voting like that. We're not giving away our vote. We're not giving away our vote. Damn the other party. Damn the Republicans, damn the Democrats, damn the independents, damn anybody who not doing nothing for us that's supposed to do what's for us. That's crazy. You do not give people your vote just because there is no, we're not scared of no damn boogeyman's over here. If you scared of a boogeyman, you by yourself. There's no boogeyman over here. There's no Republican boogeyman. There's no Democratic boogeyman. It's all tactics to get your vote. They need your vote. They need us. They need us. They need us. What about that do we not understand? They need us. If we don't give them their votes, they do not get voted in. That's literally how it works. If everybody woke up and said, fuck it, we ain't voting, nobody gets in. That's how it works. All power to the people, but the people just don't know they have the power because they keep falling for the same okie doke. Come on, man. Wake up. Wake up. We got to stop with the crazy stuff. Hey, man, whatever. Hey, keep living on your knees then. Keep living on your knees. But we're going to move on because we know we not slaves to the system over here. So we're going to move on to the Black MAGA preacher. Once again, they're trying to push these narratives. They're trying to get us to vote Republican, and they're throwing everything at the wall. So this is a brother, Reverend Jordan Wells. Unfortunately, he resides in Jacksonville, Florida, but I think he's from Indiana or something. But it's another tactic that they're using to get black people. But he's been going viral throughout social media for a while. But hey, man, some people got to wake up. Some people got to wake up. Some people got to wake up. Our political ignorance will continue if you keep doing the same thing. Our political ignorance will continue because everybody's afraid. Stop being afraid. Oh, we don't vote for this, they gonna do that. Stop being afraid. Bill, live on your feet for once. Get off your knees and live on your feet for once. If you don't know how to do it, watch me do it. Yeah, hey man, Nemesis, man. I know, man. The water down here. Hey man, the water down here in Florida, you know, it got a lot of ignorance down here. They got LSD in the water down here in Florida. I know, but he's not from Florida. But I think he's been here long enough. So let's get it. Please hit that like button. Please hit that like button. Please hit that like button. Let's go.
Hey, yeah, I got your text. Said I'm ready. I said, oh, we're in different time zones. I didn't think about you being in the Eastern time zone. I was like, hey, that's fine either way. Well, it's rock and roll, baby, and we will make it work. So now that I got you here,
I appreciate y'all.
We had I'm hoping that this turns into a weekly thing. I'm going to float that out there because I like to put good juju out in the air and kind of wheel things into existence a little bit. But it's so cool how I met you yesterday, and I'd seen your videos from Jubilee all week. People are sending them to me because that's just the circle I live in. But I text you after we got off the phone and booked this because I got to looking at your videos more. I said, oh, you're that guy. You were all in my inbox last week. You just I
want to give a thank you, $10 super chat from the gentleman 0828. I appreciate you. And you know, I got to do my video.
Look at all this money, homie. I got all this money, homie.
I appreciate the love, the gentleman 0828. I'm telling you, we got to get off our knees. We got to get off our knees and stop going for the okie doke. We got to be better. I appreciate you. Thank you.
And look, I actually was wanting to play a video or two before we got to going here so people could know who you were, but neither here nor there. They can find it. I shared them on my Facebook. But who is the lady? Well, let's introduce you first, man, because I got so much I want to talk to you about. But this is Reverend Jordan Wells. He's a reverend, obviously, at a church down in Jacksonville, Florida. He goes by the Black MAGA preacher. I got that right? Is that what the title of Facebook and Instagram?
Yeah.
Tell people how a black dude in the South becomes the Black MAGA preacher.
Living on his knees.
Well, one of the things that helps is probably because I'm not from the South. I'm from Indiana, so it's just a different culture. I started. I was a liberal when I voted for Obama. My first time was Democrat, and then in 2020, when I gave my life to Christ. I got my life to Christ about 2012, but I voted for Mitt Romney the second time because I couldn't get with some of the liberal things that
And remember too, like that's another part of the game that they play. They act like there's a true intersection between religion and politics when we know there isn't. There's no true intersection between religion and politics. They try to play that. There's always these people who are reverends and these people who become extra religious and these people who found God when they found the Republican Party, when they became Democrats. Gone with the bullshit. Remember, I told y'all they use religion while we let the religion use us. They use religion. You know what I'm saying? So to myself, like melted grease. There you go, Eminem. So he's from down north. If you know, you know. Oh, so I don't know about Indiana like that. I just know about Florida craziness. But I heard a little bit. I don't really know about it like
Democrats
that.
were pushing gay marriage, some of those things. And so, yeah, man, in 2020, I felt God put it on my heart to get involved in politics. I was just a regular preacher. I was a conservative preacher, but I was like a lot of my friends. I have a lot of friends that are conservative, secret in the closet, pastors that are Black, but they won't tell their congregation because they know they'll lose people.
Well, I've often wondered, we talk about this a lot on my show. I hate to step you off, but this is such a good point about the Black preachers maybe kind of being secret Trump voters. I've often wondered, how do you reconcile being a Democrat and a Christian at this point in society with all the things that the Democrats support anyway?
Well, the first thing they do is they try to become
Thank you, Shoshana. Thank you.
One topic voters. So they'll erase all of that and they'll focus on
Nemesis. The fact that he's proud of being the Black MAGA preacher let you know he got straight on. He got bending knee living. He lives on his knees. We can tell. You can tell by how the tone of his voice, the lack of masculinity coming out of his voice.
Trump has bad character, and they'll say, racism is one of the big things that they'll try to push. But I tell people all the time that even if all that was true, if you thought Republicans were all racist, right? Which I disagree with that. I don't believe that, and I've not experienced that. There are some, but most of them aren't. Most of them are good, God-fearing people who just want the best for their country.
There's racist everywhere.
But even if you believed all of it, what'd you say, sir?
I said there's racist everywhere. You can find a racist in any group of any set, any ethnicity. I mean, there's racist everywhere. To your point, I agree is what I'm saying. I just, people make a big deal out about that.
I agree.
Go ahead. I'm sorry. I didn't mean to step on you there.
No, you're fine. So yeah, that's just it, man. And so they say, well, they're racist, and I tell people all the time, you don't vote based off personal. You vote based off policy, right? Because the policy is what you have to live under. You don't live under. You're never going to have Trump over for dinner, right? You live under the policies that your leaders set, and those are what affect our daily lives. And so the Democratic policies are destructive and dangerous, and that's why I'm a Republican. That's why I'm a conservative as a pastor. And so I call myself the Black MAGA preacher, because I believe that it's MAGA has been painted as this hate group or this racist thing, when I believe it's a real movement to really the country, to make America great again, not make America racist again like some of my Black pastors think, but to make America prosperous and a nation that is respected all over the world.
And it's idiotic for a black person to be like, we're going to make America great again. So for Black people in America, what does that mean? Not from the lens of I know his vantage point is like lower scrotum area. Like he used to seeing people from the scrotum up. I know that. But for Black people in America, what does it really, like in real life, not bullshitting, not the fantasy world, not all that. In real life, for Black people in America, what does that mean to make America great again, like it used to be when it was prosperous? And what does that mean for Black people? Right? Because this is what he's saying, right? So what does that really mean? I don't want the bullshit. I want the real stuff, right? So yeah, and you're right, Nemesis, it's the economics. But they used the religion as the cover but it's the economics. Because most people, think about it, most people who are in those videos with those Republicans and stuff, those are people who have higher income levels as well. People who have higher income levels always creep over to the Republican side. It's always an economic thing as well. You're right about that, my friend. But what made America? Yeah, ask him what made it. He knows what made America economically prosperous. He knows. He's trying to play stupid. He said, and that's the point. There are no policies in place to help Black Americans. So, hey, look. He don't know. He doesn't know. He just talking.
That's what that means. And so that's why I call myself Black MAGA preacher, because a lot of the pulpits are silent, and that's why I emphasize being a preacher, because most of my pastor friends refuse to talk about politics. They won't speak on it. They're scared to lose members, money, financial backing. And I've lost some of that, but it's okay.
No, I mean, look, you're going to have that on big jobs. Anytime you're trying to reach a bunch of people, there's going to be people that disagree with you. I lost lifelong friends over my relationship. Well, not my relationship, well, you can call it that. My relationship with MAGA and Trump. And the second Trump came down that golden escalator in 2015 with his wife by his side to announce his candidacy, and he dropped the bad hombres line or whatnot. They're not sending their best people over here, all that good stuff. And I saw a certain group of people, I saw their reaction, and I said, that's my guy. Because if they hate him, there's something good about him. And it's sad that we reached that boiling point in society where all I have to just look at, who do the Democrats like the least? Oh, well, then that guy checks off every box for me to vote for. Because if they don't like anything good.
Not at all. They're poisonous. And I always tell people, and I've been talking about this, and so we've been going viral again because I've been talking about this. I believe there's a racial issue in our country, and it's not the narrative. I believe there is a purposeful attack to make races hate each other. And I tell people all the
so who orchestrated the purposeful attack for racists to hate each other, my brother? The same white people who you slurping. And granted, I understand this from both sides. We understand over here that it's not just the Republicans, but it's the same white folk who you slurping. Come on, man. Right. The longer we keep giving these people a pass, the longer they can do us damage. They do know, they don't care. They are traitors and need to be called out and archived on the national database. You are right. And that's why I try to do my best to start the conversation over here, right? Reverend Jordan Wells is a bitch. Reverend Jordan Wells is a bitch. The little light-skinned boy from the previous video is a bitch. Nicki Minaj and all the rest of them. Bitches. Bitches. And they need their ass whooped. And all the Democratic sellouts. Bitches. We're not taking this no more from either side. They all bitches.
Time, even though I call out my community more than anybody, and look, I've called them out so much that I've been called Uncle Tom, a coon, and everything else, Sambo, whatever else name they come up with for me. I betrayed my people. The white man has bought me. I mean, I can just go on and on.
This is from a dude who has seen the world from the level of scrotum up his whole life. He's only seen white men from the scrotum up from his whole life. Remember that. And he's probably a free puppet too. He's a free puppet.
But I will say this, that before 2020, I didn't talk about race as much. Most pastors didn't, and most of us didn't.
Why not?
Right?
Why not?
When Obama got elected, even though people might not have liked him, agree with him, they say, "Oh, this is pretty historic. We got a black guy as the first black president." Even if you voted for Mitt Romney or voted for the other guy who was running the first time, you thought that, wow, this our nation has really crossed the bridge. Even if you were a white person, but something happened. Something happened in the eyes of the left when Trump started running for office.
What happened?
They said this is dangerous.
Well, in my opinion,
I mean, wasn't Trump's his first election, wasn't his initial election backlash toward Obama having 2 terms. So we're gonna revise history. See, this is what happened when you be having white men's baby batter on your face all the time. When you used to having white men appendages in your mouth all the time, you don't pay attention to history, because Trump ascending to where he did was a stark backlash to Obama having 2 terms. Matter of fact, I was tuning into radio, because me, Pat, and PC used to talk about it. During the latter part of Obama's first term and going into his second term, I would turn into racist AM radio stations and hear white people talking about getting ready for the race war, and how they got to make America great again, and how they got to take their country back, and all these things here. Remember, Dr. Frances Cress Welsing been telling us this for the longest. In the ISIS paper, when she was talking about white people's fear of genetic annihilation and all the backlash that white people have been having, Dr. Frances Cress Welsing been telling us this. Neely Fuller been telling us this. Dr. Marimba Anin been telling us this. All of our scholars have been telling us this. So we know he lying. Revisionist history. Get off your knees, sucker ass nigga.
And I thought it was because that they had 8 years. They had the black president for 8 years, and they didn't think that there wouldn't be a next one.
Yeah.
You know, and there's like, well, we'll be okay with it being Hillary because, well, she's a woman and a Democrat, and that's another progressive step forward. And then it was Trump, and there was the backlash of 8 years of Obama politics and Obama policy and Democrat policy, and the rest of America got fed up with it. The rest of America got tired of overpaying for everything and high gas and all of that. And oh my God, you don't want this, you don't want another black or a Democrat, then you must be a racist. And I just always thought it was kind of ironic. They had 8 years to groom the next Obama, and the best they could come up with was Hillary and her hot sauce in her purse.
And the Republicans had 8 years to do something tangible, and they ain't do shit. And that's been one of my problems with this party. All this party can do is tell you what the other party haven't done. But bitch, y'all ain't did nothing either. Y'all haven't done the damn thing for us. And have the nerve to sit in our face and act like you are our ally. And because the Republicans are the ones who will steal from you and help you look for what they stole from. They are literally pointing their fingers at the Democrats, say, look, they haven't done anything for you, while looking at the mess that they helped to build and ain't doing nothing for it. Jordan Wells might be stupid, but we ain't stupid over here. Says gas has nothing to really do with the economics of policy.
Well, they thought she would get in because she was connected to Obama.
He going real low, Kerwin.
He was the black hope of the Democratic Party. He was very charismatic. I mean, besides Trump, there was not another president more charismatic. And so, you know, we all were caught up in the moment. But
Nemesis, I get you. I understand. Yeah, you're right. I'm just making sure our folk know, like you say, we got to call it out. Like we calling out the plays. Like, yeah, you're right. You are right. I'm glad you're saying that. Let me put this comment on here. And let me put this comment so we can make sure the opposite parties are supposed to do that. We're making sure we calling the plays out so we understand what's going on. So you are correct. Yes, sir.
I always call Obama the great divider in chief. He started this division, right? You know, he is the reason that we are here right now. Whether it's the LGBT things and all the other stuff, he initiated all that stuff.
And that made you mad.
Yeah, I'm not a fan of Obama. You know, I respect him as a man. The things he accomplished as a person, but as his politics had helped destroy America. So
I feel like Obama did way more for the LGBTQ community than he did the black community. Yeah, to me, I jokingly have called him the first gay president. Again, you know, what he did for gay rights.
Yeah, Obama ain't do nothing for us. You ain't do nothing for us. And Jordan Wells ain't do nothing for us. And Trump ain't doing nothing for us either. Bailing people out of jail is not doing anything tangible for us.
and gay America far surpasses anything he did for black America.
I tell black people that all the time, and they don't like it, you know. But some of them are starting to come around and think it's true.
Yeah. So, you know, I talk about this a lot. I'm a Gen X. I'm 48. How old are you, Reverend?
I'm 32.
32. We got an age difference between us. What generation are you? A millennial?
Yeah, I'm a millennial.
Well, Gen X. So I grew up in the 90s, like my peak growing up. I was born in 77. I was a kid in the 80s.
In his eyes.
And I was, you know, I came to be who I am in the 90s. You know, my teens.
All that
20s.
White lust in his eyes. Look at
and that to me, and you'll never convince me otherwise. That was up to about, you know, ironically, 2008 was the best race relations in American history, at least in my lifetime.
Yeah.
And I mean, I grew up, when we say we didn't know color, we truly paid no attention to color. I had black friends, and I grew up in a majority black city. And so it was often that I was the minority in my friend circle. I stayed at their houses. They stayed at mine. We went to school together. We did everything together, no different than me and white people or whatever. And something happened. And I've jokingly said Trump came down that escalator and tore a hole in the space-time continuum in 2016.
And you remembered you was a white boy. And you remembered you was that reminded you a low-level white boy, but you still white. So I grew up around black people, but I'm still in support of the system of white supremacy. That's what he's saying.
And it just sent everything to hell in a handbasket. But it wasn't that did it. It was the 8 years of Obama that did it. And the divider in chief, as you said, the Trayvon Martin, if I had a son, it would be Trayvon. And somehow or another, the guy that killed Trayvon became a white guy. And this Mexican dude became a white guy. I've still yet to figure that out. Somehow we're responsible for that too.
Oh, because you do know Mexican is not a race, Mr. White Man. Mexican is not a race. So yeah, but yeah, you know, I hear what y'all saying about Obama, and I'm not here to defend Obama, but what I am saying is I know I got goddamn common sense, and if you a bitch if you're gonna tell me that you had an emotional reaction to what Obama was doing and decided to go Republican because you had an emotional reaction, not a policy reaction. Because they're not telling us any real policy because for the white dude, what did Obama do that really made life harder for you, Mr. White Man? What did Obama do that really made life harder for you, Mr. White Man? And Jordan Wells, what did Donald Trump do to make life better for you, nigga? Stop it. Both of them full of shit. This is what happened when two dumbasses get together and start talking. So I'm gonna let this play for a little bit more, then we're gonna get to this last video.
We have to carry that load. But so that further divided America because it became about a race issue, and then the White House got involved in what I call local politics, and it all went to hell. But somewhere along the line, it felt like Black Gen X, my group, the people I grew up with, decided that they were oppression starved or something. And it was like things were they were just going too good for them. Maybe they have an oppression fetish. I haven't figured it out. But
have you asked?
They decided that they wanted to create racial tension in America over nothing. And then
have you asked the black people what their issue is? Of course you haven't. But of course you don't give a damn either, because you have to create your own narrative.
It became where we were highlighting all of these law enforcement interactions with black people going awry, and then everybody must be racist. And I don't know what happened, but we went from the best race relations to the worst.
Now remember what he's saying. He just said he's talking on both sides of his neck. He just said Obama caused the racial divide, and now he's saying that, well, black people just come out of here and just start saying stuff and want to be victims and stuff. Well, make your mind up. Well, black people complaining victims and stuff, or did Obama start the racial divide? But these are the talking points. Remember, neither one of these dumbasses are saying anything original. They are repeating talking points that Republicans have been saying for a while.
For a short time, it feels like. I mean, did you see the same thing? I mean, you're younger, but I mean, if you voted in 08, you grew up enough to see that something happened.
It definitely happened. And I tell people, and I've been talking about this on X a lot, because, you know, God is, put it in my heart. I want to see behind it, right? There's always a behind it, right? There's a dark conspiracy, but it's not conspiracy, it's reality, that there was an intentional, purposeful cabal behind this, right? We call it the deep state, we call it the left, but I really just labeled the left, that decide, and these are the people with the pink hair, these are the people that want to push transgender on kindergartners, these are the people that want biological men and women's sports. They're not liberals, right? They're not the Bill Maher type liberals. They're not they're problem, but they're not the problem. The problem,
I have another name for them, Reverend. I call them the rainbow supremacy.
Right? They're the radical left, right? They're the Mandamis, Zorons. They're the people that believe America is evil. They believe it's always been evil, that it needs to be torn down. The statues, the history, there's nothing good about this country. And they are in Congress, they're in different political local offices, they're mayors, they're governors. They've been imported, some of them from other countries, and they hate America and they really wanted to see it fall. And so they begin to work. And it was a lady on, I believe she was on CNN. She said from 2000, I think it was 12 to 2020 to now. Before that, from like 2008 to 2012, the word white supremacy was only used in the media like 8 times, she said, right? After 2020, that
man, shut up, bitch. Shut up. If you can't substantiate that, why would you repeat some shit like that? You can't. I'm finna get his ass off my. He done pissed me off. I'm sorry. I can't. He done pissed me off. Get his ass off my damn screen. It done pissed me off. Like it's bad enough you just talking. Like he's just talking. Like give me some tangibles, man. Give me some tangibles. Give me something real. Instead of just talking, but it just talking. And that's why this dude, and I really didn't want to give him no view because this video only had like 168 views. But once again, like we exposing the people, man. We exposing the people who out here talking this dumb stuff. And I'm exposing the plays. The Republicans are aiming for the disgruntled Democrats, for the Democrats who are on the fence, or the black people who don't mess with the Democrats at all. The Republicans are targeting us, because I'm in that group of people. The Republicans are targeting us and making us think that they're the other option. Fuck y'all. Y'all are not the other option. Neither party is the option. Neither party is the option. The gentlemen, they crazy, man. Get off my screen with that crazy stuff, man. But the link to all of these videos is in the description. So if you want to go back and watch the full videos, y'all can do that. So this last video is this brother, I think it's Garrison Hayes. He says he spent a week with black Republicans. And we're going to get into a little bit of this and we're going to close this thing on out. And I appreciate you all being here. Let me see how many likes I got. Let me make sure the likes match the views real quick. Let me see real quick. So I only got 57 likes. And we got 75 people watching. Let's make these likes match these views. Let's make these likes match these views. It's free to hit that like button. Please hit that like button. If you're driving or you're doing something else, if this is your background stuff, if you're driving, go ahead and drive. But if you're doing other stuff, it's your background, stop what you're doing. Go hit that like button. Let's get these likes up. All right. But these political parties, remember, this is what they are supposed to do. Not being emotional or anything about it. This is what they are supposed to do. They are supposed to divide for our vote, and they will lie, cheat, steal, and kill, and do anything they can to get our votes. So that's why we have to be smart people. We have to be smart and not emotional. Not just saying, well, the Democrats ain't doing nothing for us, so I'm gonna go be a Republican. So you're gonna leave one bum and go to another bum? You like Cardi B now? You might as well be. That's a Cardi B move. You go from one dude who cheating on you to another dude who cheating on you. Like everybody's looking at Black America like we stupid because we keep doing stupid stuff. Make these fools earn our vote. Make these fools earn our vote. I'm telling you. What's the name of this? All right, so this last video, let me share my screen. We're about to get into this.
Black conservatives are everywhere.
That's why I'm here to show my support as a black man for Trump.
Pollsters can't get enough of them.
The historic levels of support the Republicans are getting from black folk under Trump.
Donald Trump is cozying up to them.
Come here, let me give you a
And the RNC was full of them.
President Trump, we have the greatest economy in our lifetime. America is not a racist country.
Can you imagine President Donald Trump coming to a city and calling a pastor like me?
You've probably heard a lot of people talking about black Republicans, but I spent all of the RNC talking to black Republicans.
So it is with being a black conservative. I equate it to being gay back in the 50s or 60s. You didn't come out the closet then.
And so you look at the people who really saying that about Trump. It's not no uppity Negroes. It's Negroes out the real hood.
And that's one reason why I'm pro-Trump.
Hey, Omega, nobody clearly, and I'm not saying this, 'cause I agree with your point. Nobody was listening to Elijah Muhammad on that. That's why we still here. That's why we here at this point. You right, we are late. You right, we are late. Wag your finger at us. We later than the
I'm
moment.
conservative is because I truly believe in the individualistic approach to the problems that we see within the black community or in America as a whole.
Black Republicans specifically are some of the most disliked and unpopular political figures within the black community.
Black people have conservative values. Let's stop. Black people need to stop acting like we don't have conservative values because we've associated the word conservative with racism. We have conservative values. We do, and we need to get back to some of those conservative values. Conservative does not mean racism or racist, but that's our problem is we've associated the word conservative with racist. And whenever we hear conservative, we think race, and that's the problem.
For a reason. I'm pissed. Of the 4 black Republicans in the U.S. House of Representatives, zero represent majority black districts.
I am royally pissed.
In fact, they all represent majority white districts, something they seem to be very proud of.
South Carolina is majority white, correct? Yeah, it's still. My district is majority white district. Your Utah is majority white district, correct? Michigan, really. Florida, is your district majority white district? Well, how do we get here?
Like, a lot of white people had to vote for it.
You got on your knees and got there.
There is an obvious disconnect, and that's what I want to explore today. I wanted to know what draws a black person to identify with this Republican Party.
Trump has been for black people, regardless of what the media say for a long time.
The Bible say we perish through a lack of knowledge, right? So until you teach the people, that's the only way they're gonna learn. So it's our job, me especially as a black conservative, to get out there, get on the ground, and teach these people all about the black conservative movement. And when you look at the movement now, especially right now,
hey, he kind of looked like Diddy a little bit. Am I tripping though? He kind of favored Diddy a bit.
we speaking, baby.
I learned a lot about black Republicans in these conversations. Their motivations, their stories, their goals. These are real people with genuinely held beliefs. Beliefs that I largely disagree with, and I told them as much.
It wasn't policy. It was white people.
It wasn't white people. It was
no. Let's be very clear. It was white people. No.
I tried to have respectful dialogue with them. So in this video, I want to share these people with you, but I'll also share some of my reflections on the experience of listening to, fact-checking, and disagreeing with black Republicans. I learned a lot about black Republicans, and I think you will too. So with that, let's dig in. In talking to black Republicans, I found that their most consistent ideological North Star was an emphasis on personal responsibility. For those I spoke to, there was a real value for rigid individualism as opposed to collective progress and identity. Take Topher, for example. He's a Christian rapper, has millions of followers online, and believes, according to him, in an individualistic approach to progress for black people.
And that's how you know he's stupid. Right there, out the gate. Topher. That's your cue to not listen to anything he ever says about anything for black people politically or as a group or anything. If he believed we should take a rugged individual approach to politics, how would that help us as a group to take an individual approach to anything that's dealing with the system? If you don't understand the system of white supremacy, everything else you seek to understand will only confuse you. And my brother is confused.
That's one reason why I'm pro-Trump and I'm a conservative is because I truly believe in the individualistic approach to the problems that we see within the Black community or in America as a whole. And you can think about it, Black Wall Street, Harlem Renaissance, all that time, we was doing great. But when the policies came in and started destroying the Black community slowly and slowly, matter of fact, it was supposed to get rid of poverty or at least lessen it, but we have more poverty now than we had back then.
I think you'll notice a theme of dissonance present in these interviews. On the one hand, for example, Topher endorses an individualistic approach to solving the problems we face as a community. But on the other hand, he points to Black Wall Street or the Harlem Renaissance, communities that I would consider on the Mount Rushmore of Black collective power. And he points to them as times we should look back on with admiration. And the question is, which one is it? Is it rigid individualism where we get it out of the mud on our own? Or is it about creating communities where we work together to build our collective?
But that's what happens when you get on the microphone and you just start talking. I don't know why it's so hard for people to get on these damn microphones and say, I don't know. I've not thought about that yet. Let me think about it first and I'll get back to you, because I don't want to be on your camera sounding stupid. Because he's saying we need to take an individual, I can't even get my goddamn words out. He's saying we can't take an individualistic, we should take an individualistic approach to politics, but you're praising the collective approach, the collective work that happened with Black people, like, of course, Black Wall Street and all the others, but that's collective work. That wasn't an individualistic approach. Those were collective things. So he don't even really get that. He don't understand. What's going on, Ash? What's going on? He doesn't even understand what he's saying. He's not listening to himself because he's never thought about that. Only thing he's ever thought about is we need to take an individualistic approach. But what does that mean? And historically, anywhere in the world, show me where a group of people, a group of oppressed people, specifically a group of oppressed people, took an individualistic approach to politics and that lifted the whole group. Show me anywhere in history where that happened.
Resources. What's also interesting is that somehow for him, these communities no longer exist because of liberal or progressive policy decisions.
But when the policies came in and started destroying the Black community slowly and slowly, matter of fact,
now what he's about to say, I will give him his credit. What he's about to say, he's not wrong. So listen to him.
It was supposed to get rid of poverty or at least lessen it, but we have more poverty now than we had back then.
I think it's worth pointing out that this more poverty now than back then line is verifiably false. It falls in line with a theme that people like.
Well, let me. When he gets to the point where he's gonna make a specific point about the fallout of Black Wall Street after it's been rebuilt. So when he gets to that point, that's what I mean.
Byron Donalds have advanced continuously throughout this election cycle. The idea that we were better off in any way during the Jim Crow era.
Hey, Bumpy. Those that gave us gentrification worked together to attack us. And this dumbass talk about taking an individualistic approach. Racism is a team sport, man. That'd be the dude on the football team wanting to do it his way and always crying about losing.
During Jim Crow, the Black family was together.
Yeah, that's right.
So we did a breakdown on this. Byron Donald got cooked for what he said, but the Black family was together during Jim Crow. The Black family was together during the Jim Crow era. People got mad at that. I don't understand why people got mad at the fact the Black family was stronger and more together. There was a higher marital rate during Jim Crow. It was. That doesn't mean Jim Crow was better for us, but the Black family was married at a higher rate during that period, specifically. Just that.
During Jim Crow, more Black people were not just conservative, because Black people always have been conservative minded, but more Black people voted conservatively.
It's worth noting that the Black poverty rate has been falling ever since Black people started receiving civil rights protections. It's almost as if these progressive policies worked.
Now, you mentioned Black Wall Street, brother, and I want to be very real with you.
Yeah.
Black Wall Street was Tulsa, Oklahoma, the Greenwood District, where Black people built their own community.
And see, this is where the host is going to show his ignorance and knowing the total fallout of Black Wall Street. And Topher is going to educate him.
Community, right? Had their own self-sustained community, beautiful economy, making it for themselves, and white people destroyed it.
Yeah.
It wasn't policy. It was white people.
Well, white people. It was
no. Let's be very clear. It was white people.
No.
It
was those white people.
It was white people in that community. Absolutely.
Exactly.
And let me just say this: Elaine, Arkansas, Rosewood in Florida, Atlanta, Georgia, Sweet Auburn District, North Nashville, and Nashville, Tennessee. Each one of these communities were booming Black economies where white people, not in the same place, but it was the same group of people every time, destroyed those communities. So you can't say it's policy when when Black people do what they need to do and build for themselves, and white people destroy it. So why is it that you would frame it as a policy thing?
I didn't frame it as a policy thing.
We can rewind it.
You said it was white people.
You mentioned.
I said it wasn't white people. It was those white people. And the reason why I'm saying that is because now we're trying to categorize all white people as evil.
No.
And what I'm trying to say is back then, because a lot of people don't know this, I'm gonna put this on record. Black Wall Street rebuilt themselves after that. 4 years after that, Black Wall Street rebuilt everything they had, and they prospered for the next 40 years until policy came in and destroyed it because they decided to build a freeway over their town, and that destroyed. So what I'm saying is, if we look at
he's not lying about that specific point. He's not lying about that specific point. Black Wall Street was rebuilt, and Black people sold out for the white man. Black Wall Street was rebuilt, and those Black folk, after they rebuilt Black Wall Street, sold out for the white man. That's what truly put a nail in the coffin of Black Wall Street. That's the part that the liberals never tell.
Policy and the cultural essence of most things, right? It's not just policy, it's culture.
I was trying to draw a distinction between the nature of progressive policy, like the Civil Rights Act, or Supreme Court decisions to overturn segregation, and white supremacist policy, like destroying Black communities. But the subject kept changing. Lucky for you, I actually made a video about Tulsa, Oklahoma's Greenwood District. It was definitely white racism that destroyed Black Wall Street and other Black communities through explicitly racist acts of state-sanctioned violence.
And it was rebuilt. Tell the fucking truth. Tell the truth, young man. Tell all the truth, not half of the truth. It was rebuilt, and then
this is why an accurate, full telling of history is so important. Black oppression and Black progress have always had a collective quality to them. Black people.
See, and for what I'm saying, listen to what I'm saying right here. This is why we don't listen to either side. I forgot to say this in the beginning. This young man is left-leaning. Now, I'm not saying that we don't listen to him, but what I'm saying, this is why you read for yourself. This is why you go back and you read for yourself. Because this young man is not telling the full story because he don't know the full story. So that's why he won't tell the second part of what happened to Black Wall Street. They sold out for the white man. That's what put the nail in the coffin for Black Wall Street. After they was destroyed, yes, we all know it was destroyed, but it was built again, and then they sold out for the white man. Tell the whole truth.
People have been throughout American history targeted as a group, from slavery to Black codes to Jim Crow to mass incarceration to anti-inclusion efforts today. But we've also made progress by harnessing the power of collective action during Reconstruction and the Civil Rights Movement, and even today during the Black-owned business boom.
From LBJ, that's why you say we're having these Negroes voting Democrat for the next 200 years. But all those policies have not done what they promised. Would you agree?
I would not agree.
So you think we're better off as Black people now than we were before LBJ passed those policies?
Yes, brother. We can vote without the threat of violence. Are you talking about the Civil Rights Act of 1964? Is that what you're describing as a negative thing?
I'm not saying the Civil Rights Act of 1964 was. I'm talking about.
That's LBJ. I just want to be clear. That's LBJ, who you said were we better off before LBJ? LBJ signed the Civil Rights Act of 1964.
I'm talking about the war on poverty.
I just want to answer that one.
Once again, that's what I keep saying. This is two people who don't know what they're talking about having the conversation. We keep getting the theme of that for this whole video, for this whole live. We keep getting the theme of people who don't really know what they're talking about having conversations. And this is why we have to do our homework and do our own reading for ourselves.
I want to answer that specific one first. Was the Civil Rights Act of 1964 bad thing?
I agree with the Civil Rights Act of 1964.
Thank you.
But at the same time, I'm also put like this. I prefer dangerous freedom over peaceful slavery.
I don't know what that means. Explain more.
What it means is I would rather, given the fact that even back then we still had our families together, communities were stronger back then, I'd rather deal with the dangerous freedom of not knowing and controlling people with policies as much as possible versus the peaceful slavery of being married and tied to the government.
Given Trump's well-documented history of saying and doing racist things, I wanted to know how these Black people could be drawn into Trump's political orbit. So I talked to Pastor Lorenzo Sewell.
Yeah, so anyone that wants to come to church, they're able to come. So when President Trump called, I thought about it like you calling me and saying,
I believe this is the stereotypical pastor, the one who came from prison and now a pastor now. So he'll fall for anything. God called them while he was in prison or something like that. I think this is the guy. So I could be wrong, but I believe this is that guy. Y'all please hit that like button if you enjoy this content. Please hit that like button. That help the algorithm, help more people see what's going on.
Hey, Pastor, I want to invite a friend to church who has 34 felonies. Hey, Pastor, I want to invite a friend to church who is a womanizer. Hey, Pastor, I want to invite a friend to church who could be a racist.
He's the lead pastor at a Black church in Detroit that Trump visited earlier this year. And he was also a featured speaker at the RNC.
So all my friends back in Detroit who are Democrats, I want to ask you just one simple question. You can't deny the power of God on this man's life. You can't deny that God protected him. Could it be that Jesus Christ preserved him for such a time as this? Could it be?
Why should Black people support the Republican ticket and Donald Trump specifically?
That's a good question. You know, what I would say to any Black person is this, specifically about the Republican.
Before he get into it, what type of bullshit y'all think this gonna be? This gonna be regular bullshit? It's gonna be like one whole piece of bullshit? It's gonna be like diarrhea bullshit? It's gonna be green bullshit? It's gonna be bullshit with corn in it? Because we know it's gonna be some bullshit. He's not gonna give some real straight up answers. It's gonna be some bullshit. So I just want to know what type of bullshit y'all think he gonna say.
Platform, I would say, look, do your research, right? I would say look back to 170 years ago in this state where a group of patriots stood up and they started that grand old party to stop the expansion of slavery. If a Black person said, well, Pastor, Donald Trump is racist, the Republican Party is racist, well, let's play that theme out throughout history. Let's look at who was the party of slavery, who was the party of Jim Crow, right? Who's the party of the slave codes? Well, those are Democrats. Let's have that conversation. And when you look at—
We were enslaved by both parties. We were enslaved by people who represented both parties.
When the Senate was integrated, those were Black Republicans. When we look at Frederick Douglass, Black Republican. So that's on the political side, why I believe that a Black American should be willing to look at the Republican platform. In terms of my political convictions as a pastor, my conviction in my heart. A Black woman's womb is the most dangerous place for a Black child to be.
That's not because of liberal white people. That's because of conservative white people. Margaret Sanger was not a liberal. Margaret Sanger was definitely conservative. But once again, that's why I'm saying what I'm saying. Fuck both sides. Don't be a knee liver like him. Fuck both sides. That Frederick Douglass stuff he talking about, forget all that. Even this the brother with the glasses on, he represents the Democratic Party. Fuck they side too. No. Go read. That's why we read real books and we look at real history. Because if you ask him, give me 2 tangible outcomes that the Black community have gotten specifically the Black community have gotten from the Republicans. Give me 2 of those tangible outcomes. He can't give me none. Just like the Black dude with the glasses can't give me 2 tangible outcomes Black people have gotten from the Democratic Party.
So if a Black American, specifically a Black woman, my conversation would be, give our Black babies a chance. Look at the Republican Party in terms of President Donald J. Trump. This is what I would say. Don't look at the container, look at the content, right? Don't look at the man, look at the mission, right? Don't look at his past.
What's his mission?
What your agenda is for your community in the future.
Tell us his mission.
Conservatives are leading the charge to remove protections for voting rights, protections for maternal mortality, interventions in California, affirmative action, diversity, equity, and inclusion. These are all issues that pertain directly to the people that I know that you serve in your community.
Hell yeah, Candace still on board. Yes, Candace is still on board. Candace know what she getting up butter. Candace still on board. Don't let all that kids, she's still on board. As long as that white man still cracking her, she's still on board. Says, It's constant living in the same damn loop. Vote for one, vote for the other. Don't use your brain. Be an athlete, play in the NFL, have money. Yep. The same loop over and over and over. Be stupid, be black. Be stupid, be black. Vote. Be stupid, be black. Be stupid, vote. Right. There you go. Dr. John Henry Clark said, no friends. We have no friends.
Why should they support the party behind the hindrance, the advancement of the very things that I know you stand for?
Sure. Black people that I know, that I represent, that I've had these conversations with, they don't want to be put in a position because they're black. There's not one black person I know that will say to me, Lorenzo, I deserve this position because I'm black.
But I want to, you know that's not what DEI is. DEI is about fair hiring practices, opening up opportunity, like creating pathways.
But you're smart. You're an intelligent man. And those that would say this, I believe they're very intelligent. It costs more money not to hire the person who's the best than to be racist. It actually costs more money. So if you're the best at what you do, right? And let's just say I'm a racist. So let's just say that, let's play that out, right? And let's just say, hey, there are 20 white guys that are not as competent as you, but I'm not gonna pick you because you're black. It's gonna cost me more money.
They don't even know that this qualified person exists, right?
Sure, I hear you.
The pathways are the problem. And a lot of what diversity, equity, and inclusion is doing is creating those and helping to clarify those pathways. And so framing it as an unqualified person getting the job when we know, you and I both know, that there are plenty.
And they remember, they send fools like this out here to say these things about DEI and all these other things and wag their fingers while white women still benefit from all of this. Or white women, because white women were the main benefactors of DEI. So fuck both of them on this conversation about DEI.
You have qualified black people or Latino people or women who don't end up with jobs.
100%. And I agree with you. I do think relationships and proximity matter.
In his book, The Grift, Clay Cane details the history of how black conservatives have thrown black people under the bus to get ahead personally. From black Republicans like Isaiah Montgomery and Booker T. Washington to modern black Republicans like Clarence Thomas. Clay Cane makes the case that the modern black Republican is likely, if not assuredly, a grifter, a person who is doing that which is politically expedient rather than doing what is right, doing whatever they need to do to get that all expenses paid trip to fancy places. I couldn't help but wonder if some of the folks I was talking to fit that description. So I asked Pastor Lorenzo whether or not he was a grifter.
In my reporting, I've spoken to Clay Cane, who wrote a book about grifters, how sometimes black Republicans will align themselves with political power for their own personal advantage.
Sure.
What do you say to a person who says, hey, like, you're a talented, gifted person, but we didn't necessarily know who you were, but now you're speaking on one of the biggest platforms in the world tonight?
Quite frankly, I don't need another opportunity to speak. Has the Republican Party said, Lorenzo, we're going to write you a big check? No. If they did, it's just going to go right to the community anyway, right at the end of the day, because that's where my salary goes.
So you on your knees for nothing.
Okay. You've mentioned Frederick Douglass and others from the 1800s, early 1900s. In those times, black Republicans were elected by black people.
Sure.
Today, black Republicans, they're elected in majority white districts.
Agreed.
Why is it difficult, maybe even some would say impossible for a black Republican to be elected in a black?
That's a good question. You know what? I wrestle with that. I think the biggest problem is the Republican Party, in my opinion, they have, I believe, drifted from their roots in terms of black people having authority within that party. I don't believe the Republican Party has learned well how to support financially those who are black Republicans that want to come out the closet. I equate it to being gay back in the 50s or 60s, right? Or even 70s. You didn't come out the closet then, like the movie Philadelphia, right? Because you could be ostracized. So it is with being a black conservative. We have been, the Lord has blessed our church. He's been very kind to us to really serve our community. However, me just having President Trump at our church, if I could play the voicemail, sir, these are the ones I haven't had time to delete. If I could send you the emails where it's like, really? I mean, people that I thought loved me, they're like calling me everything but a child of God. I'm like, hold on for a second. Can we have a conversation? Why are you like?
How has that made you feel?
You know, I was a drug dealer. I was a street pharmacist. Right?
Hey, so that lets you know right there right there. And I'm not saying because you were a drug dealer in the past that you got to be a sellout, but we can see him selling out now. And we know, because all drug dealers are sellouts. All drug dealers are sellouts. All drug dealers are sellouts. And he haven't got that out of his heart. Trump came to your church, left your church, and your community still ain't better. Your community has not benefited from you being a Republican or anything else. You stupid.
So people that you love are hurts. I have to be frank with you, you know. But other people that don't know you, don't understand your motives, I get it. When tensions are high, motives are questions. And tensions have been high in our country as it pertains to politics. So people question my motives. I understand that. But for the people that love you, it hurts. It really does. And that's the reason why Black.
There you go. It's not
this
the recovery
game. You're not ready for it.
We can see he weak in his heart. We can see he got sellout in his heart. All drug dealers are sellouts, but he's still in that. He's still in that. He hasn't grown. You're right, Malcolm. We saw the transformation with Malcolm, but I think a lot of people. I think the thing with that is a lot of people use that, and a lot of people use Malcolm X as their excuse for still grifting and stuff, because we saw a full change. Like the FBI even said that Malcolm was a person of high moral character, that they couldn't even get him to bend to their will and stuff like that, right? So he made a full change. This dude, we can see this dude's behavior, we can hear his rhetoric and all that stuff, how like this dude is almost salivating at the mouth talking about Donald Trump. So we can see he's still a sellout. It's still in his heart. He hasn't changed his heart at all. He just changed his costume.
It won't come out the closet.
A relatively small percentage of Black people will vote for Trump this November. But I have a take and I want to share it with you. A more inclusive and racially diverse Republican Party could be a good thing. American conservatives and Republicans have made the lives of Black people difficult on purpose. From the Southern strategy to welfare queens to anti-woke, anti-DEI stuff today, American conservatives have galvanized their white base by making the lives of Black people harder. It could be a good thing to see more Black Republicans if it means that the Republican Party is becoming actively hostile to the racists who have called that party their home for the last 60 years at least. Right. Make American politics inhospitable to racists. I'm all in on that platform. But the reality is that racists, or at least racism enablers, were present and accounted for at the RNC. They were given stage time, had exclusive access, and seemed central to the whole operation. And I'll tell you what did not feel central. Black people. I actually attended the Black delegate event during the RNC, and something really interesting happened. The event was taking place away from the main convention center. And in the middle of it, unexpectedly, former President Donald Trump's motorcade could be heard approaching the event from a distance. People have been having a great time before that moment, but you should have seen the excitement on people's faces when they realized it was Trump approaching their event. It really felt like this big moment of acknowledgement, the perfect punctuation in a banner year for Black Republicans. Journalists and news crews were scrambling to get into position to make sure they captured that moment when he comes to this event. But then his motorcade just drove by. It turned out he wasn't coming to the event. It wasn't on his schedule.
Yep. Ricardo, what's going on?
It just happened to be along his route.
They need to get off their knees. Look at them. They all got
the disappointment for this group of Black Republicans was tangible and kind of poetic. And I think that's my big concern with the future of the Republican Party. The RNC had quite a few drive-by acknowledgments that Black people exist, but little to no substantive action plans for how they would show up and be present
and do something
with
real
and for this community. And if I'm honest with you, I think that's on purpose. The only way the Republican Party becomes this ideologically conservative, but racially inclusive big tent party is if there is a fundamental rejection of the people and policy and practice they currently hold as sacred, near and dear to their political vision. As long as the GOP makes racial justice a political issue worth fighting against, a majority of Black people will never vote for the party. As long as teaching Black history is woke, as long as race-conscious solutions to race-conscious problems are demonized, as long as they commit to denying racism's impact on society, Black people, by and large, are not going to vote for them. But
okay, so the name of this channel is Mother Jones. I had it wrong. So Mother Jones is the name of this channel. A good video by the brother. I thought this was a good video by the brother, but I wonder if he would be this honest in critiquing the Democratic Party as well. I doubt it. I doubt he would be this honest in critiquing the Democratic Party. But get off your knees, people. Get off your knees. If we've learned one thing in 2025, if we learned one thing in 2025, these white folk already told us when they build their white utopia, niggas ain't welcome. So you can be the worker ants and the worker bees for these white folk if you want to, whether it's Democratic or Republican. Now, this video specifically was aimed at the Republican Party. Black people, do not be skipping parties over there like thinking the Republicans are going to do something better. Remember, it's been over 2 hours and we haven't heard one tangible thing that the Democrats said that the Republicans said that they would do or they have done. Not one. All they're saying is Republican good, Democrat bad, and all the Democrats say is Democrat good, Republican bad. So Democrats only get accused of being weak. They don't get accused of being right. Black Republican is a microcosm ignored. Oh man, yeah. We got a lot of work to do, but that's why on this channel, we try to tell the truth. So we've called out the Republicans, we've called out the Democrats, and we're gonna keep calling out everybody else, the independents and everybody in between. So yeah, that's how we do it, man. Remember, so tomorrow, we're gonna be back here 9:30 p.m. tomorrow, New Year's Eve show. 9:30 p.m. tomorrow. So we're gonna be right back here. Make sure you tune in. It's going down at 9:30 p.m. And we're gonna get it in. We're gonna take it in. We're gonna see how long we can go. We're gonna go from 9:30. Start at 9:30. See how long we can go. But what is the topic? What's the topic for tomorrow gonna be? See, my mind is all over the place. White supremacists are afraid of being replaced. Oh yeah, we're talking about the great replacement theory. We're talking about the great replacement theory tomorrow. People told Dr. Frances Cress Welsing she was crazy when she talked about white people's fear of genetic annihilation. And now we have this thing called the great replacement theory, where white people are afraid that they're being replaced. So Dr. Frances Cress Welsing was right. So we're going to get into that. And so with that, it's going to be videos by, of course, it's going to start with the interview from Dr. Frances Cress Welsing that was on the Donahue show. Then get into some Neely Fuller of telling us for the white folk why killing is necessary. Then get into some Marimba Ani breaking down the concept of Yorugu. Then we're going to get into 2 videos of white people, one white person saying that the great replacement theory is bull, and the other white person saying the great replacement theory is not just a conspiracy. So they scared over there. They're scared over there. So we talking about it and we getting into it. I appreciate everybody for tuning in today. Of course, you know, next week we're going to be back on our regularly scheduled programming. So we're going to be at 9 p.m. to next Tuesday. But today, I'm off. I'm on vacation, so I decided to do it early. Plus, I got an event I need to be at about 7:30. So, but I wanted to make sure I get my video in. I want to come convene with you all and do this thing, man. I enjoy these lives. I enjoy y'all tuning in, and we learning, we growing, and we're gonna continue doing what we need to do. Remember, my merchandise is available. So I want another shirt like this with the gold, but I got my On the Shoulders of Giants merchandise available for you all. That you can get you some shoulders. I mean some shirts Women's shirts. This is a what they call it, women's relaxed shirt, a crop tee, another women's classic tee. Have hoodies, sweatshirts, crew neck shirts, Bella canvas shirts, heavy tees. So got these available, different colors, different sizes. Have hats. This called a panel cap. We got panel caps. We got dad hats. We got snapbacks. They all ready. All right. And then I got a mug. So you come in and get you a mug. All this, you can access all this through my channel. So we out here. I told you I was gonna be dropping my merchandise soon, get my merchandise stuff together, and we got it together. So you can go and get you some. I know I got to get that mug and everything. So I appreciate everybody who continues to support this channel, continue to be here as we grow. And we're going to keep pushing, going to the new year on a high note. Remember, the only way we can make things better is to actually be better. Be the change you want to see and wake up every day. Make sure you put your foot forward, your best foot forward to make your life better, to make our community better. We can complain and talk all day. I can sit up here on YouTube all day and run my mouth all day, but if I don't get my butt in my community, do something real, ain't nothing real gonna change and nothing real gonna happen. All right? So let's be active for real. Let's not just ask other people for tangible outcomes. Let's make sure we're giving tangible outcomes and we're doing tangible things. Hey, man, I appreciate each and every one of y'all for supporting me. I love you all. Make sure y'all, if you haven't watched my videos for today, the videos that I released today, make sure you watch them. They are available. What did I put out today? Through Religion or Force, Domination is that goal. Dr. Marimba Ani on the Yorugu lecture. Then I put out a short, the consciousness of the caveman. So make sure y'all check those out and check out my videos from yesterday as well. Dr. Carter G. Woodson's Blueprint to Fix Black America. So check all of that out. And it says one of the best examples on a person standing on B1, Dr. Francis Cress Wilson on Donahue. You already know that. So we're going to get all the way into that. Hey, man, y'all stay black, stay brilliant, stay great, stay positive, stay constructive, stay motivated, be empowered. Let's make our communities better. Let's make ourselves better. Let's make our families better. And let's go take power. Let's become a powerful group of people. Let's get off our knees. I love you all. I'll see y'all tomorrow. Peace out.